Om Namaḥ Śivāya Shantaya, Jnana-rūpāya Shambhave, Yoginam Hridaya Vase, Mahadevaya Te Namaha. What if the greatest destruction does not begin with force, but with something far more subtle? And what if what collapses was already falling long before it was ever seen? In the Linga Purana, the burning of the three cities, known as Tripura, the three cities of gold, silver, and iron, belong to Tarakaksha, Kamalaksha, and Vidyunmalin, is not just a story of power, but a revelation of something deeper, the quiet play of Māyā, illusion, and the unseen cause behind all that rises and all that falls. Before that great destruction, and before the arrow is released and the cosmos trembles, there is a quieter unfolding that often goes unnoticed. This is not a simple story of gods and asuras or demons, or victory and defeat, but the rise of power rooted in discipline, devotion, and alignment with the divine. The asuras in this narrative are not merely forces of darkness, they are seekers, practitioners of austerity, beings who through focus and unwavering will reshape their destiny, building not just cities of gold, silver, and iron, but an entire world sustained by order, strength, and secret practice, and for a time they stand unshaken. Not because they are invincible, but because they are aligned with dharma, with discipline, and with something far deeper than power itself. But what happens when that alignment begins to fade? A shift within, a quiet distortion, and a subtle forgetting. This is where the story truly begins, not as a tale of destruction, but as a revelation of its cause. Not the fall of cities, but the quiet unraveling of truth, the slow erosion of clarity, and the almost imperceptible pull of illusion, and the presence that governs it all. Because in the end, what is destroyed is not just form, but the very foundation that once held it together. After the fall of Asura Taraka, his sons, Vidyunmalin, Tarakaksha, and Kamalaksha, turned not to vengeance, but to intense austerity, invoking Lord Brahma in pursuit of immortality. And though absolute invincibility is denied, they are granted a rare and nearly impossible condition: to dwell in three cities across heaven, sky, and earth, and to be destroyed only when those three align into one and by a single arrow. With this boon, Māyā, illusion, constructs cities not merely as fortresses, but as realms, radiant and vast, seemingly beyond reach, within which life flourishes in abundance. Wealth, beauty, celestial beings, sacred practices, and the asuras themselves are disciplined, devoted, and deeply connected to Lord Shiva. And it is this devotion that becomes their greatest protection, for their strength lies not in their cities or the power, but in their alignment with dharma and their connection to the divine. And here the story deepens, because even the devas led by Mahavishnu come to a profound realization that as long as the asuras remain devoted to Lord Shiva, they cannot be defeated, not by force, not by strategy, not even by divine intervention. And with this realization, the nature of the conflict transforms. For what follows is no longer a battle of weapons, but a transformation of consciousness. Mahavishnu introduces Māyā, not suddenly or violently, but gradually and subtly, almost a shift in perception that distorts truth, weakens discipline, and loosens their connection to the divine piece by piece, until their devotion wavers, their stillness dissolves, and though the cities remain unchanged, radiant, and powerful, the fall has already begun within. And it is only at this moment, when that inner alignment is broken, that destruction becomes possible. What follows is not immediate destruction, but a vast and cosmic preparation, deliberate, for what is it about to unfold is not a battle, but the alignment of existence itself toward a single moment. The chariot of Lord Shiva is not constructed but revealed, assembled from the very fabric of reality, where the sun becomes one wheel and the moon the outer, where time itself becomes motion, the sky becomes its canopy, the mountains its pillars, the directions its balance, and nothing remains outside of it. The four Vedas becomes its horses, knowledge its force, faith its movement, dharma its foundation, detachment its stillness, and even mind, ego, senses, and elements become part of the structure, so that this is no longer a chariot moving through the universe, but the universe moving as one. At its center stands Lord Brahma. While the bow is formed from the mountains, the serpent becomes its string, and the arrow carries within it Mahavishnu, bringing creation, preservation, and destruction into a single point of convergence. As everything aligns, the devas gather, the sages assemble, the forces of existence take their place, and beneath all movement lies a profound stillness, a quiet knowing that what is to unfold has already been decided. And yet a question arises: what need does Lord Shiva have for any of this? He who can dissolve the three worlds in an instant, why this grand orchestration? And in that question, the answer reveals itself. This is not necessity, but the divine play, Leela. For when the moment arrives, when the three cities align after ages, time itself seems to pause. Lord Shiva lifts the bow without effort. The arrow is placed, the string is drawn, and yet, even before the act is completed, it is already done. For with a single glance, the three cities are reduced to ash instantly. And though the chariot remains, the bow remains, and the arrow fulfills its path, the act itself transcends them all, because the destruction was never dependent on the means. It was always contained within His presence. And in that moment, another truth reveals itself. Not all are lost, for those who remain devoted, who held on to the connection with Mahadev, even in the midst of illusion, are not destroyed, but they rise, transcend, and move beyond the cycle of destruction. And what remains is not victory or defeat, but understanding that the fall did not begin with fire, but with the loss of alignment. The destruction is not the cause, but the consequence, and that what collapses outwardly has already fallen within, and that even in dissolution, Mahadev and grace remains. After all is done, when the ashes settle and the cosmic act is complete, a deeper truth is revealed, that the asuras did not fall because they were weak, but because they turned away. For through the play of Mahavishnu's Māyā, they abandoned their devotion, and in that moment the protection was lost. And from this arises a simple yet absolute truth, that as long as there is connection to Lord Shiva, there is stability. And the moment that connection is lost, collapse begins. That the universe itself rests in the Shiva Liṅga, not as symbol but as source. And to return to it is to return to what is real. Because in the end, what falls is only what forgets its source, and what remains was never separate from Mahadev. May Jagat Pita Mahadev bless us all. Keep seeking, keep chanting, Keep surrendering. Om Namah Shivāya.